I'm Barry Funkhauser, and this is the Barry Funkhauser Show. Whoa, whoa. Hey, happy April, man. It's drying out there in Southern California. Here's what's going on. The Queen Mary has reopened for tours after a 3-year hiatus. Well, wet year or dry, fire season will take its toll in California. And the Earl Warren Showgrounds in Santa Barbara is looking for new ideas. As always, I'm here with my co-host and general know-it-all genius, Joe. Hello!
Hi, Barry. I have an idea for the Earl Warren Showgrounds in Santa Barbara.
Why don't you tell me when we
Santa Barbara roots.
Wait for the story, man.
Oh, I'll wait for the
That's
story.
later.
I'm just telling you that I got an idea for it.
I mean, I assumed that you would.
I have an idea for everything. Anyway, how was your weekend? I spent my weekend making mud, apparently. I didn't know I was making mud, but I made mud. And I had to rescue my tomato plant from it.
Oh, too much water.
Yeah, like I don't know why. I guess the tomato plant itself was probably getting some remnant rain, and then I probably watered it too much. But man, it just got to a point where it was like the soil was like, yeah, we can't take any more water, so we're just going to turn into mud now, and we're not going to drain at all. So,
Man.
yeah.
Get yourself some perlite.
Perlite? What's that?
That's that white, very lightweight, chalky stuff that's the white rocks that come in potting soil, and it acts as a water sucker and a drainer, and they're like $1 or something at the store.
Yeah, I definitely need some of that.
Get
So
yourself
that's what I
some
did, and then I spent way too many man hours in the backyard of my apartment complex trying to turn this dirt patch back here into something usable for us. I don't get paid for this. I don't get any break on my rent. But hey, I get to do yard work, so I guess
The best
that's
thing
awesome.
I could recommend, Joe, is the best thing I recommend there that you can grow right there in the patch is carrots. Just throw a bunch of carrot seeds in there and totally forget about it. And then like 8-9 months from now, you'll be like, oh yeah.
Interesting. Well, there's some old wood planks from the fire that burned that are still usable. So I'm just gonna take some of those and make some like planter boxes and stuff. I don't know. The kid next door wants to grow some squash, so I'm trying to help out the kid next door, make him into like a little urban farmer. Even though he's one of those kids who doesn't like to get dirty. He is definitely his mom's son. He does not like to do physical activity. He just wants to come out while I do physical activity and talk to me.
Oh,
That's all.
typical
so that's what he does.
behavior.
Yes, he is my 12-year-old manager of my apartment complex.
Site manager. There he is, man. Checking your
What
work.
about your weekend? What'd you do?
Well, Joe, you ever have a time where you bring a friend out to a party or to an event, and this person that you bring out, okay, you love this person to death. You know, your friend, let's say it's me, Joe, but you know that I have these tendencies of staying way late.
Do you overstay? Are you that person? Do you overstay your
It's not
welcome?
me. I shouldn't have said me because I'm not. Let's just say one of our unknown friends has these tendencies of, staying a little later, partying.
Yes,
a bit more.
I know one of those those people. His name is Kevin, and he's a dear friend of mine. Hi, Kevin. You overstay your welcome wherever we go, man. Do you remember, Kevin, when we went to Chicago? Do you remember that trip, Kevin? I haven't talked to those guys since, Kevin. You know why, Kevin? Because you came home at like 3 a.m, Kevin. Come on, man. It wasn't even our place. It was like my friend's brother's roommate's apartment. We didn't even know these people. Anyway, hi, Kev. How you doing? Hope you're-
Similar friend, Joe. Similar friend. But, it's just like, and there's this one trait that I love in this person. And that is, when you go out somewhere with this person, they ask a lot of questions. Let's say you go to a beer, brewery, and then this person will ask a lot of questions about what kinds of beer there are and where, what's in it and what does it taste like before she makes a decision.
Did I go out with you this weekend? I don't remember.
You do that too?
I do that all the time. I don't remember going out with you this weekend. It was a crazy weekend for me with all the gardening and stuff. It wasn't me though.
It wasn't
you're
you,
positive?
man. It
Okay,
doesn't
it
matter
wasn't
who
me.
it is. It's some. Everybody has a friend like this, and that's I love that trait. But it it has a dark side too. It's when like you're late to something or like there's 1,000 people in line behind you. It's like you don't really have the luxury of just hitting the person behind the counter with 800 questions when there's lines behind you. It's like the room starts getting really angry. So so I had a pretty fun weekend, but I had a lot of debauchery, and so I went to this concert. Went to
All
this
right.
concert at No Vacancy. We've been there.
Ah, one of our favorite places. We love No Vacancy. Did you go? Wait, did you go through the secret room again?
It is a speakeasy. The whole thing is that's the only way to get in. Yep.
No, it's not the only
Don't
way to get in.
don't
It's the
spoil
only
it.
way they want you to get in.
I don't see any
Okay,
other.
fine. I won't spoil it. Go ahead.
So anyway,
We
so
went
it's
to
a
the Haunted
early.
Mansion concert venue in downtown. Go ahead. Or not
Yeah,
downtown, in Hollywood.
it's like a haunted brothel,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was an early show, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I was like, yes, get me out of here early. You know. Well, we get there, and there's a secret show afterward
Oh, nice.
with these two popular indie people that are mixing. They're doing a mix show kind of thing.
Okay.
And then the vibe is like, well, you can stay if you want to. And I was like, oh man, I haven't eaten yet. This place doesn't serve food. And here we are. Okay, maybe we'll try to wait for this band, the Black Keys, to come in and mix. Okay. Everybody's excited about it.
OMG. You didn't. Oh,
Everybody's excited.
Way to bury the lead there, man. You didn't stay for a Black Keys secret show.
Okay, Joe. So our show was over at 7:45. All right.
What was your show?
Sun was
Also
still
someone
up.
else. Also someone awesome. Who was your show?
Arlo Parks, very good
There you go. Thank
performance. Quick
Awesome.
show, in and out.
Yep.
One and done. But then, okay, so we can stay for the Black Keys later. All right, cool. I get to see the flyer. The flyer has no start time on it. It's like, uh-oh. It's Saturday night. I'm like, okay. DJ means club, right? Right? So, like, they're not going to be playing, like, Hendrix and stuff like that.
Wait. Were they actually playing, or were they like just playing songs that they liked and mixing and stuff?
They're mixing. They brought in
Oh, I don't care
turntables.
about that. Like, I don't
They
care.
probably
if
played
rock
their own
stars want to DJ.
songs.
Who cares? I don't care. I just want to see them perform. If they were performing and I could see Fever live with 100 of my
Hey,
closest
they could have.
acquaintances, that would be
They
great.
might have. They might have because I kept seeing them bring in more and more equipment. The sun's going down. We've been there now 45 minutes to an hour after the last show. There's no food. There's only drinks, and they're all heavy and hard. So everybody's getting more and more irate, and coming up to me, talking to me, which I love. But here I am, stomach's growling. And then I think to myself, they're going to go on at 11. They're totally going to go on super duper late. Let's go get food. Okay. So we go down the street, get some tacos, spend a hard time there, a lot of time there, and then come back.
Where'd you get tacos?
Right next
I'm
door.
more interested in that.
Well, I was in there going, because we had a lot of time sitting there waiting, So I looked up, tacos near me, and there was one like next door. And
Tequila?
City or something like that. Yeah,
Oh.
tequila. That's it.
Tequila, yeah. There was a tequila in Sherman Oaks that didn't make it, but it literally opened like 2 months before COVID. So anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
We zip on over there with their 18% service charge mandatory
Yep.
on the Saturday
Yep.
night. Okay. Let's have some tacos and zip on back to the car. Maybe they'll let us back in, kind of that vibe. Now we're all happy and filled up. And at this point, it's like, I guess it's about 10. We've been waiting a long time. We ate all that stuff. We're like, let's pop in, see what's happening. By now they should be on. Dude, there was a line around the corner, and they hadn't let anybody in yet.
Sit in the left. This is when you order food and you have it delivered to No Vacancy.
Oh, I wasn't smart like that.
This
Oh
is why
man.
we have DoorDash and Uber Eats, so you
Oh
could
man.
have food delivered directly there.
See, that's why you should have been there, man. Should
You
have
just tell the
wild
you just
ideas.
tip the door guy $10. I mean, sure, it's gonna cost you some, but you tip the door guy $10, and he knows you anyway because of 88.5
Oh, I'm
and the
sure. Wait.
SoCal sound, and you just say, "Hey, dude, Uber Eats is gonna be here in a little bit. Here's $10. Just give me a holler when they get here."
Oh
That's
man.
it. That's what you got to do.
You
Next
have to
next
be
time.
sneaky because you got
Next
100
next
other
time.
hungry people. They're gonna do the same
Oh,
thing.
who
They're not gonna
cares
let me
about those
do
other
that.
100? They can get their own Uber
They're on
Eats.
their own, huh?
Yeah, they're all
They
on their
probably all
own.
ate beforehand.
See, I'm telling you, you gotta be smart about
Sons
this.
of bitches. Anyway,
So, did anyone miss me? Anyone ask about me?
yeah, a bunch of people
Am I
asked,
am I
"Where's
am
the
I
dude in the
popular
orange?
there?
Where's the dude in the orange beanie?"
It's
I,
always the orange beanie.
and I look
I
around.
can't
I
get
look
away with
around the room. He's not here. Oh, no, I don't know where he is, man. Doing something with his orange beanie.
it. Can't help it if my favorite color is orange.
But Byron Gonzalez says, "What's up, man?"
Oh, hey boss, what's going on, boss?
He was playing in waterfalls all this past weekend on vacation.
Oh,
We gotta have him back on.
nice.
Ask him where he went.
Oh, where'd he go? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Don't tell me. I want to guess. I want to guess. I want him to give me clues about where he went, and then I can kind of guess where it was. But
Always a
yeah,
trivia question with Joe.
always fun. Hey, man, sometimes 20 questions is just a really good time.
All right, well, let's get into the news today.
All right.
The Queen Mary down in Long Beach has reopened for tours after a 3-year hiatus due to the COVID pandemic. And Jake Reiner, who happens to be Carl Reiner's son, is reporting here from Long Beach, where the beloved Queen Mary finally reopened its doors to the public this past Saturday. Here, listen.
Now let's count down these final seconds.
For the first time in 3 years.
3, 2, 1.
The Queen Mary in Long Beach is back open.
Welcome back home and welcome aboard.
This is a great day. Our team has worked really hard to get the ship open.
The first shipmates featured some of the most enthusiastic vessel visitors,
I just think that Queen Mary is one of the nicest ships to be on.
like these boys, a part of a ship club.
This is special because I'm here with my crew and my friends.
At about 137 feet longer than the Titanic, this retired British ocean liner steamed across the Atlantic from 1936 to 1967, transporting the rich, the famous, and for a period of time, World War II soldiers. It's been docked in Long Beach since '67, celebrating its 56th anniversary here.
As she has survived a depression, a world war, and now we can add a global pandemic to that list.
This is wild to me.
Danny Rangel, a Queen Mary tour guide of 9 years, also survived the pandemic.
It's also where you can watch a nice giant green wave wash right over the bow of the ship.
He was furloughed in March of 2020, so he too is making his grand return after 3 years.
The whole goal was always to come back here.
Why?
The Queen Mary kind of grabs a hold of your soul and your heart, and it really just leaves an impression on you.
An impression the Queen Mary crew hopes is lasting, like this new coat of paint. The goal? To go from a soft opening now to a stern one down the line before they can finally take a bow.
We're going to make sure that the Queen has what she needs in order to have a long life and continue to be a destination for our region.
The executive director says their hope is to open the Queen Mary fully with the restaurants and hotels at some point this year, although they don't have a target date. In the meantime, you can sign up for any one of the 3 tours on board. Aboard the Queen Mary, I'm Jake Reiner, KCAL News.
So cool, man. Have you ever been to the Queen Mary, Joe?
No, it's one of those things that I've actually never done. I hear they have a really good murder mystery dinner.
I've been 2 times.
To the murder mystery dinner?
No, to the Queen Mary.
Oh, okay.
The first time, there was a radio event there, and they had like an open house.
Oh, you know what? Queen Mary is a really good place for radio events.
Yeah.
I'll totally remember that.
Second one, they have this Halloween scare festival.
Oh, okay.
It'll scare the shit out of you.
Oh, that's a great pun. I love it.
And it's so good. That's super packed though, but it's
yeah, because apparently everyone believes that the Queen Mary is haunted. I don't believe in that stuff, but that's why everyone wants to go for the Halloween. See, you can go to the Queen Mary event and do the haunted ship thing, and then run right over to Shaq's Halloween event, which is always in Long Beach too.
That's new.
It's like right in the same area.
I wonder how that is.
Apparently, it's stupid fun.
They got a lot of advertising money. I know that.
Shaq, I don't know why. Shaq loves Halloween. Like he loves it. He loves getting dressed up. He loves doing cosplay stuff. And so they go all out and they get like big acts. Like I think Snoop Dogg played there once. I mean, that's sure. Cool. And that was like a hometown show for Snoop at Halloween. Oh man, that must have been off the hook. Anyway, wait, can we say that, or does that date me?
No, I think that's a telephone reference and can still be used to this day.
Oh, I can. Okay, anyway,
just like hold the phone.
Hold what's a phone? So no, I've never been. I think I would want to go with a larger group and do the murder mystery dinner at the Queen
I'm down
Mary,
for that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Or the docent tour. That sounds pretty fun if you're in the neighborhood. That's the cheapest way to go. It's probably like $20 to take a little guided tour.
I mean, it's a ship. I mean, if you've taken a tour of of a ship before, it's a ship.
I mean, tell me all the ships that you've been on, port and staff.
I can't. It's too long. Oh, really? I've done like the entire like Pearl Harbor thing. I went on the USS Missouri. I've been to the ships in San Diego. I've been to an old ships Queen in San Francisco. I've been to the ships in DC. All that stuff. But I've never been to the Queen.
Yeah, it hits different because it feels like 1920 something in that thing.
Well, but sure. But I mean, going on the USS Missouri when we were in Pearl Harbor, it's like that stuff's old too.
So it's different.
Well, yeah, okay, you're right. It's different. It's different. I think the Queen Mary might be nice to see like some of that 1920s opulence. So
you instantly feel the ghost butler greet you when you walk in. It's like, whoa, it's cold right here.
They do it on purpose. They like pump cold air down from the ceiling. So okay, that's what this summer. That's what we're gonna do, Barry. We're gonna double date it up at the Queen Mary. How's that?
I'm in. All right, more news. Wet year or dry, fire season will take its toll in California. Cal Fire says there could be a boomerang effect from the wet weather when green grassy hills finally turn brown this summer. Listen.
Cal Fire says there could be a boomerang effect from the wet weather when green grassy hillsides finally turn dry this summer.
The stuff that we see that's immediately obvious are the seasonal grasses that are just absolutely thriving under these conditions right now. We consider those seasonal grasses, light flashy fuel. They burn incredibly quickly. They lead to very rapid rates of spread, dangerous rates of spread.
But hold on, how could all of the rain that finally ended the state's dreaded drought be a bad thing? Cal Fire Battalion Chief Isaac Sanchez says it's not. We needed the rain desperately, and it is likely to delay the start of fire season.
There's going to be a narrowing of the window when it comes to the conditions that lead to catastrophic wildfires. So what that means is where we have in recent history seen those fields ready to burn in May and June, kind of push that window back more towards June going into July.
A shorter but possibly more intense fire season. That's what Battalion Chief Sanchez says we should be preparing for. But the good news is there are some things that we can do right now to minimize the risk.
Now is the time to be getting your evacuation plans together, having that information known by everybody in your home and those outside of your home. And of course, doing the defensible space clearance that we ask communities and individuals to do.
A wet winter, magnifying the dangers of fire during the dry summer months to come.
It's California, it's summer. It's going to get hot, it's going to get dry. And of course, when we add in the fact that there's going to be that increased fuel load, those conditions that lead to catastrophic wildfires are going to present themselves.
So look out, make sure you have a fire extinguisher nearby, like it's going to help.
Sure. It's like a lose if you lose, a lose if you win situation. It's a lose-lose.
No, it's you know what the biggest problem is? It's what's it called? The firewall or something like that, where if you own rural land, you have to make sure that everything is mowed down X amount of feet away from any structure.
Yeah, I think it's 20.
And they don't. That's so hard to do. So
It's a fire break.
That's it.
Not a firewall. Firewall is a wall of fire.
Yeah, the opposite. Oh,
we don't want a firewall. That sounds like something horrible out of a video game.
Yeah.
Run through the firewall to get to the magic chest. Yeah.
No, it's scary. It's a scary thing because everything's growing right now so well that this is gonna happen.
Just wait. Wait until El Nino actually forms, because it's starting. And it's gonna be bad, man.
Now, what's that now? A bunch of water?
Yeah, we're gonna get we're gonna get even more rain. More rain. So La Nina typically presents as dry conditions in the Southland in here. El Nino presents as very wet spring conditions here. When it's wet here for El Nino, literally the entire rest of the planet is in a drought. It's pretty bad.
Wow.
When we're in La Nina, we in the Southwest are typically in a drought, and then everybody else in the world gets a lot of rain. The weather patterns are starting to shift because of climate change and the heating of the ocean. So some climatologists say that we are going to be in for one hell of an El Nino this year, like one of the strongest ones that we've ever seen. Other people are saying that it might be moderate to heavy, but not one of the heaviest. We're going to have some flooding issues that we need to deal with in this state. It's great that we're getting water, but we still don't have enough water capture, So we're going to get drowned.
Maybe Mr. Funkus will be right again if the collection in Oxnard drowns because it's in a flood basin. They built this giant outdoor super mall in a flood basin.
Yeah, that's not going to work out. Oh man. Speaking of that, the flood basin. Remember how I told you about Tulare Lake? It's that dry lake bed that is west of Bakersfield. It was like, okay, so Tulare Lake is this huge dry lake bed, and it was at one point the largest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi, right? Well, drought and hundreds of years of human interactivity have drained that entire lake, and that's now the breadbasket of America. That's where all of our farming land is, right? All of it is currently underwater because that lake has now reared its head again because that's how much water we have gotten. So there is just literally hundreds of square miles in the farmland west of Bakersfield that is just under feet of water right now.
Wow. So that's not good.
Check out, it's a very interesting satellite picture. If you could find current satellite pictures of Tulare Lake, it's nuts. It's nuts. It's just there shouldn't be water there. Why is there water there? It's incredible.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's not good. Oh,
yeah. I told you, it's incredible.
These green squares here should not be blue, my friend.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm telling you, yeah, it's nuts. So there's sections of highways that are just undrivable for 10 miles because they're underwater. It's nuts.
Fun.
We're gonna get more of that with El Nino.
That's not the end then? Oh, great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll get my snorkel and listen to my Tool album.
So we're not gonna I don't think this fire season is gonna be bad. You know what fire season is gonna be really bad? Next year. Because whenever we have an El Nino here, the year after it is usually stupid hot and really dry. So we're going to get rain this year, 2023. Next summer, the summer of 2024, expect huge wildfires. because all the vegetation is growing right now because we have all the water. And then next year, when there's no rain and it's 10 degrees hotter than it should be, everything's going to dry out and then spontaneously combust all at once. It's going to be like California's going to just like blow up in a big bomb of spontaneous combustion. It's going to be interesting, man.
Joe Stradamus making a prediction about next year. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll look back 360 something days from now and see if you're right. All right, more news up in Santa Barbara with a new mission statement from the Earl Warren Showgrounds. They are now looking for new ideas in the future. Listen up, Joe.
Where it sits here next to Las Positas and Highway 101, which we see all the time, the Earl Warren Showgrounds certainly is historic and iconic in the Santa Barbara area. But everyone here seems to be looking forward to embrace some future uses. The Santa Barbara Fair and Expo is the busiest time of the year at the Earl Warren Showgrounds. But aside from this multi-day family fun-filled event with rides, games, exhibits, carts of food, and live music, the Showground says it needs to do much more than this and the numerous other events on the calendar each year. It's all not enough to make ends meet, and that's brought about a change in the mission statement.
We support the entire community and its changing needs, our historical uses, and our upcoming uses.
One of the concerns is from the equestrian community, which came in with money and volunteers to rebuild the competition arenas before the pandemic. There's concern this may mean a reduction of their traditional uses.
Absolutely not. No, in fact, I think it actually supports them more strongly.
And an equestrian event is on the calendar in May. But like many areas of the showgrounds, there'll have to be some upgrades after the weather impacts. Like everywhere, the main arena got a lot of water during the winter months, and it's still a little muddy, but it's going to get cleaned up and freshened up for some of the big events coming up, including the dog shows, concerts, and the Fiesta Rodeo. If you can recall, this arena was once the site for legendary concerts, including Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, and the Doors as they traveled through in the 1960s.
We're standing on ground that used to have 3 barns on it, and those were removed to create some more multi-use space. This is arena space for equestrian events. It's also been used for parking. It's also been used for emergency staging. The question is, what else could it be used for?
Especially since it has availability. One suggestion gaining interest is to have removable turf to have more youth sports on this property.
We are 34 acres in downtown Santa Barbara that is not used. Half of it's not used, 40 weeks of the year. So how can we support our community? We are a community resource. And so how do we best support the community and be profitable enough?
The Showgrounds has a board of directors, open meetings, public comments, and is working on a master plan. It's also firm on the role as an emergency responders command staging area and the equine evac site in a crisis for large animals at no cost.
Is front of mind for everyone, and we are a community resiliency center. We will always be that. We will always be here for emergency first responder staging, for large animal equine evacuation.
So, Joe, do you think you have any ideas there? You opened the show talking about your ideas. I know you have thousands of them, but can you compile them into your top 3?
Rip it all down and make it a big park. I don't like it. Like the
always
golf
the unexpected answer from Joe. Always the one I least expect.
But here's the thing. Santa Barbara is a lovely place, but it doesn't have any kind of good big public park that people can go to. So rip it all down, make a youth sports complex, make a nice park. All the equestrian stuff does not need to be in the middle of Santa Barbara. Sorry, equestrians, your sport is on the outs. People aren't going to be horse riding all that much in the future, and people don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, horse lovers. You can have your horses. It's just, if you look at where the Earl Warren Showgrounds is, why do you need horses in the middle here? Why? Just move all the equestrian stuff to like Hope Ranch or move it to I don't know, Arroyo Burro Beach. I don't somewhere else. It doesn't need to be downtown. Give me a good park. Give me some running and hiking trails there. Youth sports complex, all that. That would be a much better use of that area. Because right now they have 2 or 3 events a year. And then the rest of it is just wasted. So, and you don't need a concert venue there because you got the Santa Barbara Bowl now, which wasn't, I don't believe it was there when Led Zeppelin played. When did the Santa Barbara Bowl go?
Yeah, probably.
Can you check just real quick?
You want me to look this up?
Yeah.
Let's pull this up, producer.
Figure it out. Figure it out. Give me Santa Barbara Bowl opening date.
Like I can type. There you go.
Yeah, give me the wiki. Give me it. When did it open? When did it open?
We're looking it up here. It looks like around the 70s.
Oh, okay, so it was there. I wonder why they didn't play. I wonder why they played at the Earl Warren instead of the
80s,
bowl. The
79. It may not have been there in the 60s. It may not have been there.
Well, the Led Zeppelin wasn't around in the 60s, so yeah. Anyway, I like the Santa Barbara Bowl. Earl Warren should be a big old park. Get rid of that golf course. There are plenty of other golf courses for people to play out in Santa Barbara, both public and private. They don't need a nine-hole golf course in the middle of the city. Youth sports complex. That's what I'm telling you. Open space. Open space. You don't need the equestrian center there.
Yep.
Moving on. I love Santa Barbara. I hope they work it out. Open space.
They'll come up with something.
Space.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with some more open space. This is the Barry Funkhauser Show.